people had to become literate because they were motivated by money. So you're motivated by a few dollars, but you're not motivated by a permanent paradise? That's ridiculous.
And you don't have that hunger anymore, and then obviously things start to fall apart.
I had the choice to make. Do you go to trial and end up getting 10 years and end up being a sex offender on a crime you didn't commit?
That was the first time, like, somebody told me something that, like, I couldn't see or touch, and I believed it.
Islam teaches you prevention and not cure. Prevention over the cure.
So talk to us. I wanna attack this from a different angle. You from Philly. I'm from the Bronx. So we both from the hood. So obviously, one of the things that gravitated me towards listening to you is because growing up, we listening to all type of speakers. Like, they all foreigners though. I never seen a speaker that was young, that was very sharp, like yourself. And everybody's just looking back, but they don't know the hard work that this man put in and got to the level where he's at today, bismillah. So I wanted you to talk to us about the grind that took you to get to where you at right now.
Understood.
Coming from the hood, coming from where we come from.
For sure. Well, I mean, you brought up a very good point with regards to coming from the hood, the urban, the grit, the inner city, with all of the different challenges, the problems, and the horrors that people who grow up in the hood face.
Yes.
And it's either going to make you or break you.
Right.
We know that.
Definitely.
You know, different people, alhamdulillah, that's doing good, prospering, healthy, well now, and the countless other individuals who became statistics.
No.
They became numbers, you know, unfortunately, you know, of the hood, and the reality of the hood, of, you know, the inner urban city, you know what I mean? Let alone the good and the advantages that come from being from the hood and living in the urban, you know, mental toughness, okay, resilience. You learn how to survive.
Right.
You know how to appreciate, you know, and there's countless different blessings that come from being in the hood. But, you know, regardless of the blessings and the positivities, we know that there are horrors.
Correct.
And that many of us don't make it or haven't made it.
Facts.
Or we make it with you know, major baggage or major scars. So that's a discussion in itself. And I've spoken this before about the advantages and the disadvantages of coming from Philly in general as a city, West Philly, my neighborhood, so on and so forth. So, you know, 60th Street, you know what I'm saying? I'm from 61st Street, you know what I mean? So that's a discussion in itself. But the grind ain't over. I'm still grinding as we speak. And I feel that the day in which you feel that you don't have to grind, you don't have to work, you've made it, I graduated, I memorized, I made my hifz, you lost already.
Right.
And, you know, one of my main parallels that I often refer to is sports.
Yes.
Sports. So I think one of the biggest dangers upon myself, upon all of us, those who are listening and watching, is being defeated by victory. Never allow victory to defeat you. And that may sound like an oxymoron. How can victory defeat you?
Yes.
But it's a reality. You can become
like that.
drunk. You become intoxicated with victory. And then you lose your hunger. Right? You take your foot off the gas pedal. You think, oh, I got it. I made it. I graduated. I finished Medina. Whether it's bachelor's, master's, PhD. You memorize the Quran. You memorize the Quran in a different version, tajweed, whatever, your recitation, and you think you become lax. And you don't have that hunger anymore, and then obviously things start to fall apart. No. So I'm still on the grind now.
Yes.
But a part of my past grind, of course, there are levels.
Yes.
I'm not gonna sit here in front of you and act like, okay, everything that I did when I was 18, I'm doing being 39. Certain things, you know, you grow and you don't need anymore.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, when I found out about knowledge, about you know real knowledge overseas in the Prophet City, that was my dream. And I was a daydreamer and a night dreamer.
Yes.
I dreamed about it when I was in school. I mentioned this in many interviews before.
Yes.
And Allah had blessed me to realize that you got to work for that dream.
Right.
And one of the things that I had to work for, you had to get a high school diploma. I didn't want to go to high school anymore because I just wanted to go to Medina so bad.
You didn't want to go to high school?
Once I heard about it.
How old were you?
When I heard about Medina, I was about maybe 16 or 17. Between 16 and 17, maybe 17 years old. So when I heard about it, and I was like, whoa, I can go there for free? I can study Islam. I can learn in the Prophet City and look like you and chop it up with the Arabs and talk like you, but coming from the hood, like you said.
Yes.
From Philly, from West Philly to Medina, I was like, whoa, this is unreal.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, you can.
Right.
And you should. So that became my dream. And, you know, I was just so caught up in knowledge and the deen. I had no desire to study that other stuff.
Right.
I had no desire to be around, you know, those non-Muslims and stuff. And I just, let's keep it real. The girls and everything. I didn't want to be in that environment. I was wearing a thobe.
Yes.
In high school, you know, it's a duffel thobe. Tailored.
In high school?
Yeah, no doubt. Above
You didn't
my
care what
ankles.
nobody said?
No. As long as it matched his uniform, 10th grade and 11th grade, I think it was 11th grade, you know, he had to have matching colors. But, you know, 9th, 10th, it wasn't none of that. So, navy blue or white.
But did they like you though? Did the girls like you in school?
Oh man, I can't say that in the podcast. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know, but
We need to know the gritty.
But like
what you went
all
through.
jokes aside, I mean, some people. Let's just be honest. It was many people in like my different classes. They would come to you even more.
Yes.
Certain females will like try to come to like, oh, well, you know, like,
Yes.
like, no, you can't touch me. Back up.
Right.
You know, so what's this like? You can ask, but you can't touch.
Right.
So you know, I had girls in my class ask me, who irons your clothes at night?
Yes.
Why? You know, I said it used to be crispy.
Right.
So they be like, you know, who irons your stuff? You know what I mean? Or what is that? Or what you wearing under that? It's reality.
Yes.
So the shaitan, you know, he'll come for you.
No matter what. No matter what.
That's right. Don't get it
Yes.
twisted. So that's a part of the grind. Just avoiding that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you gotta study. If you want to go to Medina, you want to go overseas, you gotta get your high school diploma. There is no way around that. If it's an official university that requires a high school degree. So
Okay.
that was first and foremost. Then studying.
Yes.
All right. Memorizing, learning Arabic. In the beginning, I taught myself Arabic. I didn't have a teacher in the beginning.
So you learned Arabic before you even went to go study.
Yes. And I mentioned this many times to brothers, like you said, grind and grit. It's just that simple. 2 G's, grinding and grit.
Right.
You know, it's not about comfort and ease and relaxation. So when I was 18, I graduated high school. You know, I got the degree. That's all I needed. I had the money to go. Alhamdulillah, I could speak Arabic. It wasn't the best.
Yes.
I'm still learning Arabic and practicing to this very day. But I could actually, you know, talk and understand fluently.
So did you have to take the Medina course or whatever?
No,
or
alhamdulillah, I
you
didn't.
went straight into the...
Yeah. But when in 2002, I wasn't in school. That was
Yeah.
also from my hunger. I was just there freelance. I made Umrah and I stayed for a year.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Off my
remember
own
that.
money, a place to stay, whatever the case may be. Then I left. Then I went back to make Umrah a second time, to apply a second time. Then that's when I went to Yemen for a year. Then I came back before I got accepted. So I didn't get accepted to Medina like maybe 2005?
SubhanAllah.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know what's Umrah, you can...
Well, Umrah is the partner of Hajj, the twin of Hajj,
Yes.
the little brother of Hajj.
Okay.
Umrah can be made any time out of the year.
Yes.
Hajj, obviously, is done in those specific months.
Yes.
Al-Hajju Ashhurun Ma'lumat.
No.
Okay? But Umrah can be made basically any time of the year, and it can be done in one day.
Okay.
You're going to make your tawaf. You're going to make your sa'i. You're going to shave your head. All right? Along with the other recommended things in between that. And Umrah, many scholars consider Umrah to be obligatory.
Yes.
And if it isn't obligatory, for sure, it's a great act of worship.
No.
And obviously, that was my way of getting into Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
So Umrah visa, perform the worship, go to Mecca, Masjid al-Haram, and I never forget seeing the Kaaba for the first time in my life. It's unbelievable.
There's no other feeling.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
No.
And you know, it ain't hit me at first. It was like surreal. But like a couple days afterwards, man, it was Asr time. We came back from the bookstore. Me and the older brother I was with, Sheikh Yusuf, may Allah bless him.
Yes.
And they called the adhan, man. I just burst in tears. It's like, whoa, like, you know, do you realize where you are? And like you said, coming from West Philly,
Yes.
how many people was dead, shot, in jail, caught
Yes.
up chasing girls
Right.
chasing them, caught up, you know, chasing dunya, this degree, that degree, you know, the worldly stuff. And here you are in front of the Kaaba.
You came from that environment.
So
You
it
saw the
was just
lifestyle.
unreal. So going to high school was a struggle with regards to avoiding, you know, becoming a statistic, drugs, murder. You know, I had people in my school. In West Philly, like I said before, it's not even the worst part of Philly. You got parts of Philly that's far more notorious.
Wow.
But for sure, I know I had plenty of people I went to school with that got killed, shot in the street, Muslim and not Muslim.
Wow.
You know, I could give you different things. You can like Google, like, you know, Google the Lex Street Massacre, LEX, Lex Street Massacre. And then why they call it a massacre, if you Google how many people got shot and killed that night, I went to school with all of them. And the main person that got killed in that massacre was somebody that I used to battle with. We used to rap battle.
I was just
in
about to
school.
ask you that.
Yeah,
Like, they don't know that. Like,
yeah. So that's the story.
you
in
used to
itself.
rap.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
bro.
And you know, I was in the 9th grade. He was older than me.
Right.
And I had to learn. His name was George.
Yes.
That was his name. Right. He got killed that night.
Yes.
And it didn't take me long to figure out that he was that dude of the whole
Okay.
in the whole entire high school.
Yes.
He was the toughest, the this, the that. He dressed, you know what I'm saying? He was the flyest dude.
Yes.
All the girls, you know what I'm saying? All the dudes either respected him without fearing him or fearing him.
Okay.
So what happened was, you know, I used to see how he used to dress every day. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Fresh Timbs. Just back in the day, you know, Guess
Yeah.
jeans, pin pocket. You remember
Right.
that?
Yeah.
It's not, you know, way before the skinny, you know,
Definitely.
Coogee sweaters.
That's in the
polo.
90s.
Yeah, crazy.
That was 90s,
He,
yeah.
That was every day he's dressed like that.
Right.
And I used to look at how people would look at him or not look at him.
Yes.
And the girls and everything. So I figured out, all right, you know, he was real arrogant, cocky type of guy. So I said, okay, that's him.
Yes.
And it don't make no sense for me to what? Unnecessarily clash with him.
Right.
That's just common sense.
Yes.
And then I heard people talking. I realized that he would fail. He would continue to fail. He was been supposed to have graduated, but he was like the kingpin of the school of West Philly.
Yes.
So he stayed in school strategically for
Purposely.
operation.
Yes.
So one day we in the lunchroom. It's me and my friend
Right.
Frank. And you know, this was before Thobes. I was Muslim. I always was Muslim.
Yes.
But this was before I was enlightened.
Yes.
And I heard about Medina and everything. So we in school, you know, and Frank used to rap and I used to rap. And we just minding our business as freshmen.
Right.
You know, we went behind the ear, you know, straight out of middle school. So
Right.
next thing you know, as we rapping, the seniors and the juniors, they're
It's a
like,
crowd.
whoa, who them over there?
Right.
Literally. So they got wind.
Yeah.
So they came over to our table. We like, whoa, we not with no problems. So they're like, no, you good, keep rapping. So we going back and forth, so on and so forth. So before you know it, it was none but a short period of time before George felt a little insecure.
Right.
I can't say jealous, I was that good, but he felt like,
Your
all right,
bars made him insecure.
yeah, like, all right, this young guy may be a problem.
Yeah.
So he tried to challenge me in the lunchroom. So I'm like, no, I'm good. He said, no, you know, don't worry, you good. So we went back and forth. And FYI, for the record, I'm not bragging or glorifying you, just, you know, talking about the struggle.
Right.
You know, I beat him.
That's fine.
I trashed him. You know,
You killed him.
Yeah, I had a crazy punchline. I can't say it right now.
Any bars can you say?
I can't.
Any bars you remember? So you actually remember
a
that?
little bit. Just we gonna say that for now. What's
right,
important is I won the battle.
Right.
So everybody was like, "Oh, snaps!" The girls is looking, and George he ain't take it like that.
Yes.
You know, like, oh, I'm a you know, it was like respect.
Right.
You got it. That was it.
Okay.
And ever since then, he looked at me differently and he respected me differently. And then as I started getting more religious and learning, wearing the thobe, 9th grade to 10th grade, so on and so forth, he respected me even more. And I gave him $1.
Mashallah.
Yeah, and I remember one time we was in the hallway, and he said, yeah, man, I wouldn't mind being a Muslim. I want to be a Muslim, but, you know, if I come in a mosque dressed like this, is it a problem?
Yes.
And he had an iced out, you know, Jesus piece, as
Yeah.
they say. You know what I mean? This is in high school.
Yes.
So he looking like he in a video. This is high school. You just imagine, you know. So one brother said, and this brother got killed.
Yeah.
He got shot in Southwest. He said, is somebody gonna snatch it off your chest? He was like, what? He said, ain't nobody gonna snatch my chain. And then shortly afterwards, he got shot in a drug house. Right, in a section of Philly we call it Down Bottom,
Right.
Mantua. You can read about it. It's not a story. Read up the Lex Street Massacre,
Yes.
right?
And you
read
knew
about-
most of them.
Yeah, I used to rap with them. I knew them.
Yeah.
They was older than me, and they all got killed in one night. Somebody set them up in a crack house. They all got shot, execution style. So the moral of the story is, Muslim and non-Muslims got killed, got caught up in the system, and here I am in Mecca. So the message is, you know, whatever you're going through, whatever you've been through in your life, you know, never underestimate Allah's mercy or Allah's blessings upon you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And appreciate what you have. And a lot of people, they don't know that it ain't sweet.
Facts.
It wasn't no silver spoon we were born with. You know, you had to come out of that stuff.
Facts.
You know, alhamdulillah. True story.
That's
That's
definitely
all
interesting.
of that is all facts.
Thank you. You
None of
gave it
that's
to
a
me.
fairy tale.
No holds bars.
No.
Uncut. Raw.
Yeah.
Straight to ya. Live.